up, and
Yeah.
then there's some fighters struggling to make fights. How do you make it happen, champ, at such a
Uh,
young age?
just moving by myself, having connections. This time was better. Was like sometimes it's like, hey, you don't get on this show, you don't get on that show. But I know at some point that it's going to be where it's I'm on any network because I'm gonna be doing so many numbers. But during this specific time with the coronavirus, me not being signed to nobody, I can do what I want. So it's working in my favor.
Yeah, usually in boxing, I was talking to a lot of fighters in your position at 20, 18 years old doing this profession. A lot of fighters, let's say at your age, I'm not saying you, right? But at your age, fighters would focus more on being on a certain network and then building the brand. But you is the other way. You already have the brand and you get to utilize that in different networks. You get to be independent. Like how important is that for somebody like yourself to kind of establish that brand like very early in your career?
I think it's big because mainly because when you young, you're not gonna be like you're not gonna be your body and everything not gonna be as much mature. So you need somebody to look after you. Most of these networks not gonna. Most of these networks, one, not gonna care about you. Two, not they gonna pay you pennies. So I'm doing my own thing. I'm getting good money by myself. Not saying I'm not gonna need a motor once I get up there, but at this young stage, I want to make sure I'm the best I can be. I'm not being harmed. I'm the most prepared. So when it's time come that I can be more ready than anybody.
Knowing that you're from Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, how does that feel, man, in terms of representing that next generation of just athletes overall for where you're from?
It's definitely. I feel like when I come up, it's definitely gonna show. It's definitely gonna show a lot of people where I'm from that we can do it because like, I'm really I love my city. Like I'm always here, and I be a lot of other places. I've been a lot of other states. I travel a lot, but like I give back to my community. I'm always with the kids. The kids look up to me. So I feel like when I specifically me when I come up, when I finally blow and get my chance and title, that they gonna really feel like they can do it.
In terms of this whole pandemic, we're still living on the era of COVID. What
Yeah.
have you learned? So, like, have you learned something new about yourself that you probably didn't have the time to during this phase?
Definitely. I feel like having rest is like when you young. Like I don't think like, young people really don't think like we don't really sleep. Like I could do shit like be out till 2, 3, and wake up at 9 and work out spa 10. And like I could just get up and do it again. But during this time quarantine and like rest make you a way better athlete. Like you actually just relaxing and sleeping and it make you way better. Like you can perform way better.
Knowing that you've been one of the fortunate fighters to fight during this quote unquote era of COVID-19,
Yeah.
was it more pressure? Were you more nervous knowing that there was more protocols? Like, for example, the testing. If the fighter was tested positive, like, what was in your mind, the state of mind, knowing that you've been through it already?
Uh, the testing was kind of weird, but like not having that many people there or not having a crowd, I don't think it was that different because I was such a good amateur. Like that's what we was used to for real. Like when you're an amateur, you're not having more than 100 people there. So like it just went back to that time. But like it was definitely weird knowing that we pro now and nobody there and we gotta do all this testing and you standing far away from your opponent doing weigh-ins and y'all 2 different times. So it was just something different.
Okay, okay. So now that you've been through it the first time, it makes it a easier transition. The second fight coming up during this era of COVID-19, right?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Now I know what's gonna happen. So like anytime you do something once, you're gonna know how it feel twice. So the second time definitely gonna be easy.
Not too long ago, the news, it's been confirmed. You signed a deal as an advisory, I'm assuming, MTK Global.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Advisory deal.
How did that come about? When did the first conversation started between you guys?
We've been talking to them for about 2, 3 months. Mainly, my uncle been talking to them because like we both make decisions with each other, but he felt like that we needed that extra push and we needed him to help on that side, on the business side that he do. So but he gave me that, and we was all ears, especially when he said, especially when we looked at it, and I was gonna be the first American. I always just things different. So when I realized I was gonna be the first American, that's historic. So on top of them seeing my vision and helping me, that was like an extra. That was the extra go.
I think that's where the boxing community got confused because they were like MTK's known, you know, let's say in England, Belfast or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then with the way they was titling it the first American, in my head I was like, oh, they're trying to come over here too and sign you. That
Yeah.
was a genius move. So I think that's what there was like a 50-50 reaction was like, oh, but aren't they over there? Is he gonna expand his platform over there? And which
Yeah,
is
then I'm
also
be worldwide. Like,
exactly that's what I was telling people.
I'd be worldwide. So it was just a great move for me.
And then I seen that Tyson Fury posted a picture of you. How did that feel
Yeah,
from a
yeah,
current heavyweight champ?
yeah, definitely because he arguably one of the best. He the best right now, or he's doing the biggest numbers. He doing the biggest fights. So for him to post me, that was amazing. And I had met him before. I had met him before when we first started the talking, but now I'm gonna go see him probably over there. Sometime we setting it up. But that was amazing.
What are some of the things that you know, especially what you said that you'll be the first American that MTK will be, you know, getting fighters and whatnot. Like, what are some things that you liked about them? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted you to be part of their services or the promotion, management, or advisory, whatnot. Like, what impressed you about them overall?
I talked to everybody. Anybody you can name. I didn't have meetings with them, and they gave me offers and little things. But MTK, I'm still controlling myself. It's just adding on them giving me leverage, them helping. I'm still the same thing, but it's just an extra push, extra support, and they just helping me. So they still see my vision. So I still have leverage. A lot of these people not giving you leverage. It's taking you. Like you with them. Like they just taking you. So that was the main thing with MTK Global. And definitely me being the first was an extra push. And I'm worldwide. Like you might can see me fight in Dubai soon or UK or any of them other countries.
Okay, okay. In terms of your weight class, how do you feel about it overall? The
Great,
competition.
great. I feel like I can see different styles at the 154 division over there. Uh, it just getting way better overall. I'm be worldwide. I'm getting different styles. I'm seeing more things. Once you get to see every style, you unstoppable at that point.
I was asking a lot of young fighters like yourself. I looked at Shakur. I looked at Joey Spencer. I talked to Virgil in terms of, I know it's almost like you're very young, right? Your body
Yeah.
develops as you get older, right? But where do you see yourself? In what weight class do you see yourself ending your career? Because
And,
Shakur told me 154. Virgil told me maybe 160 the most. So I was just curious, you know, asking you, well, since you're 20 years old, I believe, like, where do you see yourself?
170 something.
Okay.
Yeah, like 178. I feel like that'll be my last one. I wouldn't go further because once you get right there, that's a huge jump from there to like Cruz or like big Cruz or like 190. That's a huge jump just to jump up there.
Of course, of course. In terms of your weight class, there's a big fight on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Jermell Charlo taking out Jeison Rosario, man. What's your reaction towards that fight and break it down? Who you got?
I'm gonna go 60-40 Charlo because he been there already. I mean Rosario been there with the Julian Williams fight, but Charlo more used to it. Like he more used to it. But I definitely feel like it's either gonna be brutal or a knockout because neither one of them box. Like neither one of them they two guys coming straight forward like Tommy Hearns and Hagler. Not saying they that good, but like they coming straight for each other. Like you ain't looking for them to do nothing else but come right at each other.
Do you feel like Charlo's that we see a little bit more of his boxing skills in the rematch with Harrison that might be effective coming into this unification fight with Rosario? What is your take on that? When he fought Harrison on the
Like
rematch.
like Tony Harrison really like he's a great boxer to me. Like he lost focus, and that's a main thing that a lot of young people can learn from. That we can learn from that. He just lost focus. Like you can see how fast this things can change in boxing. Like he probably won. He probably lost what 2 rounds. Like he probably lost 2 rounds, then got knocked out by him trying to just do too much. So I think Charlo gonna come out early because last time he came out late his last 2 fights. So I feel like he gonna get better with coming out early. His brother the same way. Like they both come out late. They both start late. So I feel like he start early, he gonna do better, and him moving his head. But other than that, I mean he's a puncher. So a puncher guy like him, he not gonna do too much.
What about Jamal versus Sergey Derevchenko?
A great fight for Jamal. It's a great fight. It's a great opportunity for Jamal because nobody gave that great performance versus Derevchenko. So if he come out with a big performance versus him, I feel like they can't keep it's no more for them to keep like running from him, because that's like, it's just not gonna be fair, because he performed against one of the best. Great. Nobody like Golovkin fought bad. Like everybody, like it's confrontational. Like, what did they beat him or not?
You mentioned a great word. You said a key word. You said opportunity. And this is why I always tell boxing community and media reporters, because sometimes we could speculate, oh, this person didn't want this fight or this person or whatnot, but we're not inside the contract. Like I said, your perspective, right? You
Yeah.
know what you sign and who you're fighting and whatnot. Like, I don't know what you do, right? So I always tell people, take this as Jermell Charlo's opportunity at the best available fighter at that weight class, which is Sergey Derevchenko. He wins, like you said, it's going to be hard to avoid him. But do you also feel like in the sport of boxing that might hurt him even if he has an excellent performance? Because we've seen it many times where fighters are beating these high elite guys, but still not getting those big fights.
Yeah. The way the business going now is kind of like messing up boxing. So I wasn't looking at it like that, but it definitely can make them or hurt them. It can make them or break them, but see that he the man. But hey, I don't know, because
Yeah.
a lot of them might do get scared. They not fighting them now, so hey, it's just a wild thing the way that the fighters are going about the business side.
And in terms of your career, I look at it, you're building so very well. At
Yeah,
20 years old, you're independent. You have like, oh, in other words, creative control, right? You can do what you want.
yeah.
And I think that's going to maximize what you want to do in life. Do you feel like the fighters that, in other words, boxing communities want you to prove yourself against those top elite fighters is going to be easier to make, or you feel like those fighters might not want to fight you right away?
I feel like my generation, the ones that's coming up, I think that we gonna fight a lot. Like, we gonna be the ones that bring the old thing back, where we gonna be better, because even the boxing bigger, so we gonna make the right money that the older fighters wasn't making. But I feel like we gonna fight, like the best gonna fight the best. Like, we really want to fight. We love the game. Like, we ain't trying to steal money and stuff. Like, we really trying to fight. So I feel like it's gonna be way different. But at the same time, on my way up, yeah, I think a lot of these guys are gonna be scared. But once we get up there, with all my generations up there, all the young guys, the young guys, I think we gonna actually be the ones to fight each other.
Talking about Young, he makes his pay-per-view debut as well. Gervonta Tank Davis, a good friend of yours, he'll be taking on Leo Santa Cruz for both WBA 130, 135 title. I know you rooted for Tank for this fight, but just tell us a little bit like his dedication to the sport, because I think a lot of people
Yeah, I think
confuse
people get
like
carried away because he parties so much, and he got this lavish lifestyle. But man, when he get in that gym, he's like no other. I seen him train 5-6 hours before. Like, he would come in at 3 and won't leave till 8 or 9. Like, I done seen him do some crazy things. I done worked out with him. I done been right there. So his dedication is crazy. Definitely when he know he can make an impact. Like, he know that this fight can make him a pay-per-view star. Like, he's gonna train his ass off for this fight. So it's a great fight. Definitely for Showtime, it's a great fight, because and for the whole boxing world, because you got a little guy he used to being the man. So like, you used to being the man, you're not trying to go for like going back down. So he gonna bring everything he can for Tank. But Tank coming from that dark place, and he want more. So it's a great battle.
how many, as if somebody was, not, I don't know if you're a gambling man or not, but if somebody was to ask you, right, your house is on the line, how many pay-per-view buys do you think this pay-per-view event does between Tank and Leo?
With Corona, if we wind up having fans, it can be up there. But I think it'll go up higher if they don't have fans. If
Okay.
he don't have fans, he could possibly outdo Floyd if they don't have fans, because everybody will be home.
You think it'll pass you, Floyd?
It could pass one of Floyd's. It could pass.
Okay.
It could pass. I don't think it would pass Mayweather and Pacquiao, but
Okay.
it could pass some of Floyd's, only because everybody will be home. And then Leo with the Mexicans, the Tank with the urban community, and just all of it coming together, and everybody gonna be home, so everybody buy in. I think that should be crazy.
Yeah. True or false? Does Tank work with no true or false? Does Floyd Mayweather working with Tank makes him more dangerous and lethal coming to this fight against Leo Santa Cruz for Tank? Because we've seen videos of him training with
True.
Floyd, Floyd's training him and whatnot.
I think true. I don't think he could lose from it. I don't think he could lose from it. Like he got a game from it. Like it's Floyd. Like Floyd could show him things that he ain't know yet. So I feel like he can gain from it. But anything can happen. Like I ain't gonna say that he can't lose just because
Correct.
he got Floyd. But they could definitely make him better.
Eventually, there's got to be a card with you and Tank, man, on pay-per-view and the hometown, man. That's got to happen. When is that gonna happen?
I feel like I mean it could happen like within a year. It could happen. Me at co-main event. It can definitely happen. It could definitely be possible. We don't know when, but it could definitely be possible.
Yeah, I still remember when Tank fought last year over there in Baltimore, man. That
Yeah.
was an amazing. I think that was one of the craziest venue I've ever been in. Like the fans were just so into it. Like I remember the first two cards it was okay, but once Tank was fighting, it was packed, man. It was insane, man. It was a great venue, great state. I actually want to go there again, especially
Yeah.
with you and Tank. If you guys were to headline that show, it would be dope.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Baltimore is great. It come out, it bring love. It's just different. Like some little cities like this, just different from everything. But a lot of people don't get to come and see. But when they do, they be never forgetting.
Yeah, and what people really don't understand is that you guys are actually building up these markets, like you said,
Yeah,
Baltimore. Not. I mean, I don't want to say it's not known to be a boxing town, but it's being more appreciated where they have no other choice but to come to your city and to hold a big boxing show like on Showtime or
yeah, definitely.
Fox or DAZN, right?
If we have 2 or 3 world champions, you don't have no choice. The choice is it got to come here. So yeah, so I feel like we really are all putting on definitely my gym with Malik Hawkins and Lil Malik and me and Tank and then others coming behind us that people don't even know about. That we gonna bring a lot of big things to Baltimore. And
Yeah.
we got Lamar, so Lamar bringing in a lot of people, so it's just bigging up Baltimore.
Okay, okay. A lot of people are speculating this to be the fight of the year. Who knows until we see the actual fight? Danny
Yeah.
Garcia, Errol Spence, IBF WBC titles on the line. Break that down, man. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Errol only because when Danny fought Keith, he didn't bring me the same Danny, so I feel like he just let me down on that one. So I'm going off of what he did on that one, what he gonna do. It's Errol, and Errol better than Keith to me, definitely because he's young and he hungry. Definitely him coming off the car accident, I feel like he got a lot to prove. So I'm gonna go with Errol, but this fight definitely gonna be great because it's not no joke. But I think the level of the competition all comes off like we know what Errol gonna do, we know what he gonna bring. It all comes with Danny gonna come like. Is the Danny gonna come that's trying to sit back and chill, or the fighting Danny? So I feel like it's gonna all based on Danny.
Okay. I mean, for me, I was telling people I like this fight. I give more props to Errol Spence right now because coming from an accident, like I said, I don't doubt his skills. I think he's
Yeah,
proven me.
what you saying?
He's proven to me he could beat the top guys, right? Mentally, that accident is not just
Yeah,
any accident.
all them type of things. Like people don't know how an accident can do, but hey, that's what you this the time for him to really prove a lot of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. So that's what I was telling people. Like it could be the best thing or the bad thing. I don't know. Like it might regress his skills. He might be better. Like that's why I said mentally. I hope Errol comes in the right state of mind. Number
Yeah.
two, for him to take this fight instead of a tune-up, that's major props to Errol.
What
But
legendary, like for him not to take a little fight, which he could, like they begging for him to do that. He
mhm.
coming like he coming back to back. So he pull this one off. Yeah. Man, he definitely setting up to be a legend.
Yeah,
I think this put him up high pound for pound.
yeah,
That's
definitely.
high because he got to be high.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that, let's say, for example, hypothetically, right? Danny beats Errol, but he won't get the credit because this will be Errol post car accident. What do you say to that? And
I mean,
you got fans saying that
he
too.
pulling up. He at the end of the day, they gonna always have something to say.
Yeah.
But with the question, he the one said he can fight. He the one said he was good. So you can't blame Danny.
Yeah. Okay. You feel like that's a fight of the year?
It can be. I say out of Tank and Leo and Dervinchenko and Jermell. It depends on how them fights. It depends on how them fights go. That might be the best competition, the names of the year, but them other two fights, they come in a fight. So it depends on how the performance go.
Okay, okay. You're young, I'm young, right? And
Yeah.
for 2020, we experienced a lot of crazy things around this world. But who would have thought, right? Mike Tyson coming back.
Roy Jones, like, what the
Yeah.
hell? I ain't never seen that coming. And they really getting ready too. Like Mike looking like fucking, he ain't looking like young Mike, but he looking good. Like
Yeah.
he still can move and he's still fast, but I'm waiting to see because it's looking to me like Mike going do something bad to Roy.
Yeah. Because imagine when Mike was in his prime, you was probably like 2 years old, 3 years old. I was probably
That's
5. I would, like I said, I've never
we
imagined.
never seen like a Mike fight live. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's like us. We finally get to see the old days back.
Mm-hmm. We know it's an exhibition and whatnot, but you know they're saying if he does have a great performance, he might come back to the pros and
No,
challenges. That I mean, what? No, you want to see that?
no. I want his legacy to live on. Like them guys way younger. Them guys hitting like Wilder, Fury. He don't need to step in there with them guys. He maybe could do another exhibition versus like Holyfield or something, but him getting back in there, nah.
Yeah, I know you into other sports. Your impression about Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul, former NBA star, slam dunk champion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they making a lot of money off of it, but they ain't playing with the sport. But like, it's gonna be funny, but like, they not gonna be like he ain't gonna show us no real fighting or nothing. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like it's gonna be exciting and like comedy.
yeah. Do you feel disrespected when these people that didn't dedicate or didn't fully master this craft of boxing like you did? Like, does that piss you off knowing that, like, say for example, that type of fight will make more money than 80% of these boxers that actually do it for a living?
No. I ain't really one of them people. Like some fighters do get mad, but
Yeah.
no, I ain't mad because it ain't like it's just not the same. Like I don't look at it the same person. You're like it's like actually like, it's like just funny like entertainment. So I don't really look at it the same because I know they not gonna be able to get in there with no real fighters.
Okay,
Now like
okay.
the jump like now the thing that somebody could be mad at is fucking McGregor. Like he jumped in there and he ain't really know too much boxing. He wrestled and he punched, yeah, but he got in there and really fought a fighter and made all that money.
Mm.
So like they
Someone,
fighting fighters, they fighting each other. So it ain't like
somebody said, Lorenzo, what 2 fighters do you want to fight next?
probably next year when I take my step ups, I'm thinking about Gallimore and Jorge Cota.
Or Dakota? Okay.
Yeah.
Why those 2 names in particular?
They great step up fights. They've been in there with most of them guys as champions. They've been in there with most of them guys that contenders. And they great step up fights.
Okay, okay. And before we let you go, champ, is there any merch in case the fans want to support, links so we could
Uh, yeah, before probably like a month or 2 months, shipment's been real crazy. So I'm definitely ready to post a lot of merch coming up, a lot of new things coming. I'm ready to have an episode come out, like a little show to show y'all like little things. So it's definitely ready to get a popping.
yeah, make sure don't miss out, guys. You'll be fighting August 29th, if I'm correct, right? The 29th?
Yeah, definitely. August 29th, CBS Sports.